What's happening? What's up, everybody? We back with another episode of Uncommon Commentators. Man, I cut that short. I'm tripping. Let me hold up. Let me run that back. Let me run that back. Welcome back to another episode of Uncommon Commentators. I'm over here fucking up. It's all right. Players players fuck up sometimes. But I am your host, producer Wiley. I got my guys in here. I got Antoine. I got Garrett. What's going on, fellas? How we doing today?
Doing good, brother. Just staying on the grind as always, and got this March Madness going on. It's going to get even crazier,
Yep.
but yeah, another day in the office.
Yeah, man. Yo, same as Garrett. Just watching this basketball, man. Watching these hoops. You feel me? March Madness is literally in full swing. I got the Sweet 16 tonight and tomorrow, and just blessed to talk hoops with you boys as always.
Oh yeah, man. Look, I'm trying to get this episode done because your boy got a pack. Get ready to go home.
Yes, sir.
Do a little bit of celebrating. A little something like. But nah, I definitely got a pack. I ain't done shit all day. Well, I'm not gonna say I ain't done shit all day. I ain't done shit to be get ready to hit the road tomorrow. I'll say
Mm.
that. But I've done some adulting today. Uh, but yeah, other than that, just over here busy being black. That's it. That's it. Look,
Black,
man.
blessed, and highly favored.
That's it.
Always.
That's it,
Three
bro.
Ds.
To everybody that's on YouTube and on Twitter, please hit up the QR code over to my left, over by Antoine's head. That will get you all the links to us on social media, get you to the link to Uncommon Commentators on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. That's the main part. Like and comment on those videos, get us in the algorithm, things of that nature. Just try and get us some looks. Get us out there. We greatly appreciate y'all. But we gonna hop right into it. As we are recording, we have two games going simultaneously right now. When it comes to March Madness, so I will put out the dying question: how y'all brackets doing? How y'all? Because I looked at mine and I was like,
I mean, man, like I'll be real. Like I'm pretty sure 95% of the brackets got busted after Iowa defeated Florida. So I mean,
dog.
it's
I
not
was
much you
dog.
can
I
do.
was going to say, yeah, freaking that Florida loss did a number
That was crazy.
because I had Florida. I had Florida in the Elite Eight. No bullshit. I'm looking
Mm.
at
Mhm.
I'm looking at my bracket now. I had Florida in the Elite Eight.
It was crazy to see, man. Like, it was cool to see Tavion Banks have such a good game and such a high level moment, like high profile, I should say. But I mean, man, like I think for Florida, it sucks, man, because the Florida boys were hot last year, but of course they got extinguished this year, unfortunately. Still have a lot of great players like Thomas Haw on that team as well. I think he'll probably declare for the draft this year. I'd be surprised if
Mhm.
Thomas Haw if he stayed for another year. You know how hard it is for especially big men, older big men to get drafted. If that's the case, Hunter Dickinson should definitely have gotten drafted, most definitely. But now I think
Yeah.
Florida, they'll be all right with their like their whole core. They still have a great coach, so we'll see what's next for the Gators.
Antoine,
Yeah.
and Garrett, how your bracket looking?
Uh, I mean, there's some teams that I anticipated to win. But I will say,
Mhm.
between St. John's and Kansas, that was another big win.
Yeah.
At the final second, I mean, Dylan Darling, having the game winner. So, uh, yeah, which is crazy. But I mean, really, I'm just looking, forward to players that are going to be, selected in the top five in the draft. So you have, um, Darius Cup Jr., who scored 36 points against High Point. So, he's been, playing crazy. So we'll see how far you're able to, take Arkansas in the Sweet 16. And of course, you have Duke led by Cam Boozer. So, yeah. So you already have, these guys are going to be, really competing. So, but I will say this year has been exciting. Like you mentioned, Iowa versus Florida, and you have, these games here. So, that's what I like about March Madness is, these, young guys come up in the clutch, making clutch plays to make it more enticing. So that's what, that's what it's all about. So,
yeah, because also you had VCU in their comeback win against North Carolina. North Carolina, you up 19 points.
Hubert Davis lost his
You
job,
played,
man.
right? And
can't let that happen.
Instead of playing to win, you played not to lose, and y'all asses lost. And like you said, and now Hubert Davis gets fired. So
Yeah.
just to touch on that real quick, stay the fuck away from Alabama. Nate Oates is fine where he at. Don't come over our way. We good.
We good over here.
All right, we good over here. Also, shout out
here.
to Texas, who is actually
Absolutely.
playing. Excuse me, who's actually playing right now? They are the number 11 seed. They're playing against the number 2 seed in Purdue, but they beat BYU, who I did have BYU beating Texas. I think on my bracket. I thought AJ was going. I mean, he put on a show.
He tried his best,
but also it's BYU, so that one's on me. that one's on me. I tried to give them the benefit. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt of having a star player, and that star player coming out and being able to, showcase what he got and perform and actually take his team to at least the Sweet 16. But yeah, that one's on me. I fell for the hype, and not saying that AJ is not worth the hype. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying overall when it comes to the March Madness brackets. Yeah, we discussed. Oh yeah, hold up. Texas not only beat BYU, but they also beat Gonzaga, who is the number 3 seed. Yeah. Jesus,
they've been knocking out Titans.
So yeah, so they're officially the Cinderella team. We will go ahead and crown them that. They are as we are recording. They're currently up they're up 65 to 63 on Purdue.
The number 2 ranked Purdue. So
we'll see. Look, by the time this episode's in, we'll see if they can pull it out and continue to mess up more brackets. Shout out to Alabama, got that blowout win. Duke, although they had to scare in the first round against Siena, they handled TCU. Arkansas, I watched that game. I went out to eat just on the humbug. I went and sat at the bar and ate, and I was watching that game. And dog, what's my guy? Jesus, what's the young man's name?
What team again?
Arkansas.
Darius Akuth Jr.
You said who?
Darius Akuth Jr.
Yes, that guy. Killer.
He's a monster, for sure.
And see, that's what I thought AJ was going to do, was put the team on his back and go on and take it on, bring it on home for me. But yeah, this dude is he's I will give it to him. He's the truth. And
he has a signature shoe with Reebok now.
I was just about to say that. Yep. Shout out to him with getting that
before he even touched the league, man.
Yeah, he be gone.
I mean,
he be gone.
That's crazy. A signature shoe.
You're starting to see that a lot. Even with high schoolers. Like you got
like Mikey Williams got one from Puma. He was like 17.
Man, that's a hell of a name to pull out because I feel like Mikey Williams should have graduated college already.
He's like 20 right now. He like just turned 20 this year.
I feel like I've been watching this dude for the last 6 years.
It's been out.
Easy.
He's playing this for a long time. Sure.
Jesus, I'm like, dude. But no, shout out to him. Shout out to the rest of these teams moving forward from the Sweet 16 on. That's both men and women. Even though the women have definitely been hooping and had some great games in that second round. I got to cover the first and second round here in Louisville with and of course I got to cover Louisville, Alabama. So for those who do not know, I am from Alabama, but I live in Louisville, but I also went to Louisville. So to shoot that game, to pretty much shoot two teams that I actively root for and have have some ties to, was, for me, that was a cool moment. Got some great shots. Definitely paid for it body wise because sitting on, well, one, if you are a photographer and you are able to be on the floor to catch a game, find you a stadium, one of those stadium seats, or bring bring you a cushion. Because sitting on that
you can be
hardwood,
on the hard floors.
yeah, sitting on that hardwood
Yeah.
floor, joke. And then even with the chair, I ended up finding a chair to use. It even still, like, yeah, my back and my butt wasn't hurting, but my hip flexors still hurt because you can't stretch out on the floor like that. I said, luckily I get away with it a little bit because I'm short. I get away with it because I'm short. So, I can stretch out from time to time, but I keep in mind that the refs, they travel up and down that baseline, stuff like that. So I try
want to make sure you out the way. You don't.
But dog, sitting crisscross applesauce is not the move. I'm telling you now, sitting crisscross applesauce for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it may have been. It may have been if you was like 10 years old.
Jay know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you was like 10 years old, that'd be no problem. But now, can't do that no more.
Sitting crisscross applesauce for 2.5, damn near 3 hours is not the move, man.
What was your favorite part of the experience, though? Like being there in person, really seeing that, like, in front of you, like that, for real.
I mean, it's dope. It's dope because it's two things that I love. I love photography, and I've always loved basketball. So it's two of my favorite things, and I get to put them together. And now I get to, people get to see the game from my view. So the pictures that I've been putting out, the little clips I've been making after each game, or getting Jay to help post after each game. I mean, again, it's been very, very dope to do because, again, I never thought I would be doing photography. That was never on my wish list. That was never in my wheelhouse. That was something that came about when I was married. But once we got into it,
to your mind, like what was the
it was never my idea. It was my ex-wife's idea. She wanted to get into it. We ended up finding a photography mentor who's still my mentor to this day. We got with him, and at first it was she was going to shoot, I was going to edit, and then during just random shoots, I'm sitting on the side and I'm just like, damn, this would be a good angle. This would be a good angle here, or this would, I start seeing it from what you would deem from a photographer's perspective. And then it was like, all right, let me pick up this camera. Let me see how to use it. And then it just took off from there. And it just became a hobby at that point. Like we borderline turned it into a business. I will say I still am a business. I'll say that because I'm like, if somebody wants to hire me, I definitely do the work. But for the most part, like I had to set that to the side because I had a ton of other stuff I was trying to do, like get my master's. Not even that at that time, get my bachelor's, but now get my master's. Doing this, like I do a lot of stuff outside of my normal 9 to 5. So it's like, and I try and tell people that all the time. I'm like, look, I do a shit ton of stuff. I always keep busy, but um it's just one of those things. Like I said, when it comes to photography, it was never something I just admired to do. It was just something that kind of came to me and I worked at and just took it from there. So to be with this team, with Jay bringing me on as the producer, and then it's like, and then we talk and it's like, oh, you're a photographer too. And then Jay's like, hey, do you want to shoot? Hell yeah, let's do it. Like Jay, I have to give all the credit to Jay because, of course, without Jay, I do not get to do this. So that's been I think that's been the blessing in disguise of it, is you meet people, and once you start figuring out stuff, you start figuring out stuff about people. And it's like, oh, you can do this. Do you mind doing this? And it just clicked. So now I'm sitting here looking at a bunch of media passes and credentials that I've got since February. And I just look at it. I'm like, it's been a total blessing to do. It's been very, very cool. And I'm working on getting more. I'm working on getting more credentials. The WNBA is about to start, so I'm working on that. Like, it's just one thing after another. So
because I was gonna spin it back. Yeah, and yeah, most definitely, absolutely, yo. Like even to say that, like yo, like just to, because there's so many people in this game. So for your work to stand out the way that it does, you truly have something special. Most definitely. And I was gonna actually, even just tying it back to college basketball, like, is there a specific matchup, men or women, you would love to like snap one day or anything like that?
I mean, I would love to capture the Final Four championship game. I mean, between that, there are certain games, like, of course, insert rivalry here. So like Carolina Duke, your men's Carolina Duke, men's Alabama Auburn, Louisville Kentucky, like insert rivalry here. But then anything outside of that, like I said, Final Four championship game, I would love to capture, whether it's men or women. And if I get to expand this to the WNBA, shit, I hope I get to the point where I can get into these venues of the outside of regular games, the All-Star game, the final, like,
unrivaled. On that one.
I mean, look, I'm gonna do this and let it take me as far as it can take me. I mean, I'm not pressing it. It's just more so, like I said, it's just been a blessing to do, and to have somebody to be able to help you get into these spots, these games and venues and stuff. It's a blessing, dog.
It is. Yes, sir.
Most definitely, yeah.
But look, every time I go to a game, I be super geek. I be geek. I be geek, and I get geek because, one, I get to represent the show. I get to represent the show in doing so. And then 2, I get to get out here and show off what I can do. So it's always, like I said, it's always a blessing. But man, do I feel like a kid every time, any game I get to go to and do.
That's how it's supposed to feel. It's your passion, man. You're not supposed to feel like work. I'll tell you that, most definitely.
It gets that way, because even for me,
Yeah.
Even for me as testimony. I mean,
I
when
can say even for for like I'm glad you brought that up. Even for y'all, for like when y'all cover games, like when y'all go to these games, y'all have to cover. Like even for y'all, like it's work. It's something you guys enjoy, and it's something that you guys, I'm sure that you guys went to school for to do. But like we know going in there, it's work, but
Mhm.
also it's something that we enjoy doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember my time when I had covered the Hawks. I got credentialed. This was the 2000. I think this was the 2016-17 season when Dwight had came to Atlanta, and
Yeah,
I had covered the Hawks open practice. And I remember after the practice had started, I went to the locker room. And I was able to interview Dwight and
yeah,
Mike Muscala, Tim Hardaway Jr. and stuff. And especially Dwight. He's always been a fun guy. To talk to. If you're part of the media, him and Tim, they were like giving me compliments about my waves and stuff and all that. And I ain't trying to show out and stuff, but no,
No, of
they always
course.
been fun guys and stuff. And also the interview, Tabo Cephalosha and Kyle Korver. So
yeah.
uh it's so like you say, it's like when you get there, you're there for work, of course, but at the same
Mhm.
time, you always get excited because it's actually happening. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody, feels that way. But over time
So,
you get used to it.
so I'll
Mhm.
I'll turn the tables on y'all before we move on to the next segment. What game or what series would y'all want to cover?
Man,
Like what's your top of the top?
oh yeah, I would love to cover the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City Thunder versus the San Antonio Spurs. Just to given the talent in that game, with the role those superstars are about to play in basketball years from now. I would love to witness that, and like they're playing for real stakes to go to the finals. So
Yeah.
that's probably right there
Mhm.
for me, seeing those dudes face off.
What about you, Garrett?
Uh, yeah, I probably would do Western Conference, finals. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if anything, I mean, for me, I would love to cover the Lakers, even though that they may not be a championship team. I just want to just watch the playoff atmosphere, just cover
Right,
that.
right.
Because that's a lot of history, in that Staples Center. Because I remember 2 years ago, I flew out to LA and I went to the Staples Center for the first time, and I just saw all the statues of Kobe and Shaq
Yeah.
and all those guys. So I haven't been able to go to a game, to a Lakers game before, but yeah, just to watch Luca and LeBron compete, together, and it's probably gonna be his last year in LA. So yeah, I'll probably
Mhm,
cover a playoff game for the Lakers, and for the Eastern Conference, I would probably say I'll probably go with Boston. I'll
mhm,
probably go to a Boston game. So they've been playing very well this year, but yeah,
mhm.
I like the
Yeah, that's
how
a lot
they
of
how they
history.
compete. Yeah,
That's a
If
lot of
we're
definitely.
history
So
between both teams. Shit.
yeah.
hell
So
yeah,
that's what I'll
if
probably
we're
do.
including Eastern Conference too, for me, it'd probably be the New York Knicks. I've always wanted to go to Madison Square Garden.
Mm,
I've only been in New York for 2 hours. Time I was up there to see the
Mm.
9/11 memorial and just to walk around for a little bit because my
yeah.
mom's from Philadelphia. So, yeah, like it probably that because I have a friend who's from New York. He lives in the Bronx, has been to many Yankees games, of course. He's never been to a New York Knicks game because, like, the tickets can be super expensive for a regular season game, even in the nosebleeds. So just going to see Madison Square Garden, that for me. I would love to see Madison Square Garden, most
I would.
definitely.
I do want to add to it outside of a live game event. I do want to cover the NBA draft live in
Right.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Mhm.
and an All Star game. Of
Oh,
course, people
yeah.
want to
Hell yeah.
cover the finals, but definitely at least either the All Star game or the NBA draft. Either one.
Yeah. That'd
Either
be
one.
that'd be
And
dope.
if we're going broad like that, man, like yo, like my number one goal as a journalist, pure sports journalist in particular, um, and like see that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure like yo, like if you like even Jay, if you've been there, man, I gotta ask you about that experience, bro, because like I just literally once in a lifetime, even if you go multiple times. But like the thing for me, my number one goal is to definitely cover the Olympics, most definitely. They're in America. In 2028, they'll be in Los Angeles. So I got 2 years to try to get a good enough job that would allow me to get credentialed for such a thing. But they'll be in Australia in 2032. So I'll be 33 then. So hopefully I can cover that. But that's my ultimate goal is to cover the Olympics, even if it's 2036, 2040. I gotta cover the absolute biggest spectacle in all of for real. Even basketball is out there, you know. And now we got the flag football shit coming in LA for 2028. You know, they can't have active players for that, but the dudes that are like
I'm gonna say they don't need them. They don't need them. Listen, flag football, completely different thing. And I mean, of course, they displayed it over the weekend, but yeah, flag football, completely different thing. That's why I don't know why everybody wanted to bring that Discord up, but we digress. This is not an NFL show. This is an NBA show, so we're gonna keep it at that.
And the last thing I did want to say before we move on, you're talking about history and stuff like that. Shout out to the HBCUs that made the March Madness tournament.
Yes.
I think Howard University Bison, they won their first ever game in the first four. So just gotta give shout out to them boys. There was also 4 other HBCUs that made an appearance. It was Prairie View, A&M, Tennessee State, and Southern University. So like SU. So gotta give a shout out to them.
Absolutely.
HBCUs for sure.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Have to.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Jay said he has been to MSG.
Damn, that's crazy. I'm gonna text you about that.
As we move on, speaking of history, KD just made history the other night. He surpassed Jordan, number 5 on the all-time scoring list. Definitely a big monumental achievement for KD. So at that time he had 30 after that game, which they ended up winning off a which one is it? Amen
Thompson.
Yeah,
at the last
Thompson
second.
tip in.
Yeah.
Yep. Look, I had to make sure I got the right twin.
That's
Thompson with the tip in. Look, off of KD miss.
Hey.
But even without him scoring, he at that time he had 32,294 points. Jordan has 32,292 points. Also, KD surpassed during that time Wilt Chamberlain and Dirk Nowitzki on his way to 5th all time. So shout out to KD. I wanted to bring this up also because one, of course, is KD. KD probably one of the purest scorers in the NBA.
Yeah.
But Garrett, I'll start with you. When you look at this, what does this accomplishment for KD? What does it mean for you when you look at the face of it?
Well, I mean, people can sit here and pretend they're shocked of this milestone for KD. I'm not, honestly, because ever since KD stepped foot into the NBA, we knew how great of a scorer that he is, or what he was going to be early on in his career. So to see him surpass Michael Jordan, I mean, it's not surprising at all. I think it just solidifies his case more as to him being one of the best players of all time. So for me, for Kevin Durant, when you look at the moments he's given us in Oklahoma, Golden State, of course, Brooklyn, Phoenix, Houston, just for him to impact the game at a high level and be the face of the league at least once before, when you had a league of Steph Curry and LeBron and Carmelo Anthony and other guys. And so for Kevin Durant, I mean, for me, I think for the way I look at it is that each player when you look at Kevin Durant, MJ, of course, Michael Jordan, Dirk Nowitzki, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, when you're talking about, pure scorers, they've impacted the game in their own way. And that's what makes them special for me. So, yeah, you've had other similarities between Kobe and MJ, but it's just for me, when I look at Kevin Durant, we know he can score, but it's more so like what made him such a pure scorer or elite scorer is just the fact that it's not because that he's 7 feet tall or 6'11". It's just the fact of the matter is that he was always efficient every single time. And, I'll say this right here too: if somebody were to ask me, hey, and even though that he's the all-time scoring leader, if somebody were to ask me, hey, who would you rather put the ball in their hands to go get you a bucket? Would that be LeBron or Kevin Durant? I'm always going to pick Kevin Durant. That's no shade to LeBron, but it's more the fact that KD has always been more efficient and he's always been more of a dangerous shooter because of the fact that he's always been efficient and he's always been tough to cover. So the fact of the matter is that not only is he 7 feet tall, but again, he's always been sharp every single time. So he's a career 27 point scorer. And, his career shooting splits is 50, 39, and 88. That's a career. So that's, almost 50, 40, and 90. So when you when you talk about those kind of statistics, I mean, that just shows you how, efficient he's been throughout his career. So yeah, like I said, big congratulations to Kevin Durant. Like I said, it's not surprising to see him go up there. So we'll see what he does. I'm not sure if he's going to catch up in the top three though, but I mean, like I said, regardless, if he stays where he's at right now, like I said, it's definitely a great milestone for Kevin Durant. So it's just another milestone to put, on the shelf. So big congrats to him. I know he's happy for that.
Oh yeah. Antoine, what you got, man?
Yeah, man. Yo, Garrett said it all. Like, yeah, man. Like, he really, I guess for me, my take, just good, for him personally. I'm happy for him personally. I know he doesn't really, as you can tell, he does not care about what people got to say like that, even though if he'll make a burner, this and that. In the grand scheme, I don't think Katie really cares about what anyone has to say. So I'm happy for him to still get his own accomplishments at the end of the day, the things that are separating himself from all the other legends that came before him. And he's still just padding his legacy. He's still padding his resume right now. It's crazy. It's been 10 years since the whole Golden State fiasco. So to see his career ever since then, it's been good to see him. He has not fallen off whatsoever. He's continued to show he's a great talent individually. The worst situation was like the Phoenix one, whatever, they shouldn't have a good bench and no draft capital. It just wasn't a good fit. And now he's finding a resurgence in Houston. He's still averaging like 26 points a game this year. So he's still really, really good. It's been having me thinking, when is KD gonna slow down, man? Because he just turned 37 this year. We see Curry. Curry has no inkling of stopping whatsoever, Stephen Curry, even with Golden State losing. So I guess with KD, I'm curious to see, can he still perform at this level at 39, at 40? We see LeBron right now doing this at 41. We know LeBron is a special case, but so is Kevin Durant. So I'm curious to see that. That's really my biggest question surrounding Kevin Durant at this point. We know how good he is. We know how great of a scorer he was. We know he doesn't give a damn about what I got to say about his legacy, the whole Golden State stuff. So I'm not even going to waste my time. I think the biggest part about KD is him just trying to continue to cement his legacy. Definitely still wants a championship. That's why he's only playing for contenders. Houston, they're going to go into the playoffs this year. We'll see how it goes. If they match up with Denver, if they match up with the Lakers have gotten the upper hand on them a little bit this year. But of course, it'll be different in the playoffs. And I guess that's really how I end it. I wonder how long KD can keep performing at this level. He has a home now in Houston. He fits good in Houston alongside Alperen Sengun and Amen Thompson. He has a great coach with Ime Udoka, who's going to keep him in line as well, someone he respects. So he won't mentally check out or anything like that. He's fully immersed with this young Rockets team. So I guess that's really all I got to say is how much longer can Kevin Durant continue to ball at this level? He'll be 38 next year. He's coming off.
Yeah.
He suffered an Achilles, and he came back to continue to perform at this level. So I think it's safe to say he can still perform at this level until he's like 39, stuff like that. Keep himself in shape. His jump shot will never go out of style. He has immense size at the small forward position, so he can always get to his spots. So I guess that's really all I got to say about KD at this point. One of the greatest small forwards of all time. Continue to get accomplishments like how we're discussing right now. I just want to know how much longer can Kevin Durant ball at this level, trying to help this young Houston Rockets team win a championship. That's what I want to know.
We'll put a pin in that for a quick second. When it comes to KD, like I said, he's one of the him and Steph are the only two players that currently that I think that when they shoot the ball, that bitch is going in. Don't matter where they pull it from, I feel like it's going in. He's proven pretty much he's kind of proven that time and time again, like you said, has averaged at least 20 points every year that he's been in the league. This is definitely a longevity record. And that, of course, that's nothing against KD. That just means he's doing everything that he's supposed to do to take care of himself, make sure he can get out there on the court and perform at a high level. You mentioned as far as like his age and things of that nature. I would like to say how old is Kevin Durant again?
It's like 37. Like it's like if you're Houston.
Yeah, he's 37. So he's 37. I can give him till he's 40 because it's his play style. Because he's not going to the basket like that. Like everything about his game has evolved and changed since he's came in the league. Of course, and this goes for damn near every player. Like your rookie year, you're doing everything. You're going to the basket, like you're doing all the stuff that we love to see on a daily basis. Somebody getting, whether it's you dunking on somebody, pretty much you being able to get to the basket, dunk, doing all the things. And then of course, as time evolved, he had to change his game. Injuries happen, you change your he's been able to evolve his game not only due to injuries and changing teams and things of that nature, but he's evolved his game to get better. He's gotten, and we've seen that year after year after year, he's gotten better. He continues to get better. From an age standpoint, yes. So another 3 years is 40. He currently he's 18 years in.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll put him at 21. Him, maybe Steph, depending on if he wants to do it or not. Him and Steph will probably be the last of the Mohicans that'll push that over 20-year mark. So I give him. I think as long as his body holds up, I say he has at least 3 in him, at least 3 more in him.
He turns 38 next September, and he's on he has a player option going into next summer. He's an unrestricted free agent in 2028, 2029. If you're Houston, do you re-sign him or do you let him walk as he approaches 39 and 40? He's making $43 million.
I have my answer. Garrett, I want
$43 million.
So two questions for you, Garrett. How long do you think he continues to go? And do you re-sign him if you're Houston? I feel like I know what's running through your head though. We're not doing this. We're not doing this tonight.
I mean, excuse the jersey retirements because we're not going to go down that road.
No,
Antoine.
hell no, man. That's all
So,
good.
so
I mean, it's all
yeah.
good.
I mean, no, seriously. I mean, all kidding aside. I mean, it's Kevin Durant, and it's not just he's Kevin Durant, but the fact of the matter is that Houston, they're trying to contend for a championship, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm Houston, yeah, I would bring Kevin Durant back. Now, can I expect them to average, I don't know, 20 plus points if he's, 39 or 40? Maybe not. I think he could, but I mean, then again, KD, he's had his fair share of injuries and we're seeing it now with Steph Curry. I mean, he's up there in age like Kevin Durant, and he's been in and out of injuries as well. So um I guess it just all plays out of what Houston does. I mean, you say that he's a free agent in 2028, you say, Antoine?
2029. He is a UFA.
2029.
2029. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, like I said, I would love to re-sign Kevin Durant. I mean, like I said, it just depends on where we're at between now and then. Because say if after this season, say if Houston gets more reinforcements in the off season where they actually get more help. Because
Fred
honestly, Houston,
VanVleet.
they haven't been playing the level that I anticipated for them. But uh but yeah, it all just depends on how everything
Well,
turns out, what other
I
players
was
they
gonna
can
say,
add.
well,
But
we know that they're missing their point guard and Fred VanVleet. I think if
oh
Fred
yeah,
Van
of course.
if Fred doesn't get hurt, then we're having a totally different
Different
discussion when it comes to
conversation.
Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, of course, of course. Yeah, yeah. So that's why I say, when they get more reinforcement, excuse me,
Hmm.
or Fred Van Vliet, and then
That's
add more
hard.
guys to the bench. Yeah, it's kind of like stutter thing, but yeah. So yeah, I would definitely resign Kevin Durant. So I think it would be no brainer for anybody. So if anybody believes that Kevin Durant can at least at this point in his career, if he can give you at least 17, 18 points and you sign for at least one more year, then I think you can do that. But I mean, it's just no brainer for me because it's Kevin Durant. So
As long as Kevin Durant's performing at a pretty decent level, it don't have to be a super high level because that
they
team
don't have to. They don't have to
of how that team is structured.
construct it. Yeah, yeah.
If as long as you have a Kevin Durant that's able to do the shit that you need him to do as being Kevin Durant, you resign him. You give him you do a 2 year you do a nice
The,
2 year with the player option, and you go from there.
that's it.
Because
That's
nine
it.
times out- in pretty much all you're really doing is, hey, we're gonna
The
give you a
man, the
year.
man, the man is going to get paid. Okay,
Yeah,
nobody's
we're
not
gonna
going to.
give you we're
Even though
gonna give you
nobody
a
don't care
year,
about no age, no nothing.
right?
It's
We're
Kevin
gonna,
Durant. That's
but
How
the
it.
much?
thing
How much are you paying him for his services if he's averaging like 18 points,
it
19? He's making
it depends. It
$43
depends
million
on.
dollars.
I
We'll
mean,
we'll
well, we
worry
don't even
about
know
that
Well, I
when
mean, yo,
at this
you're not
point,
just gonna
but
offer him. You're not just
we'll
gonna offer
worry.
him 20 million, and
Well,
he
you
might
you
not
know
even
you know
offer
I,
that.
honestly no. If it's just a 2 year deal and he's going to be
He's actually
38
getting at least
September, so
35
he's going to be
million.
what 41
yeah,
somewhere in there. Okay, so at that point you may be looking at a 1 year 2 deal. At that point you may look at a range of maybe total. I would say around 40.
Okay.
If he's able to get you like average between 17 to 20 points, if he's around 41, 42 years old, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because
All right.
20 million is not a lot of money in today's NBA. It is bad back in the day, but 20 million is like 15 million now,
all right,
All right.
so it's not that much.
and that that
Okay.
that also depends on the media rights. If that balloons up again, the TV deal. If the TV deal balloons up again, all that bullshit. But yeah, I'm like I said, 2 year deal. We'll figure out the numbers because of course that team's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So You're going to pay your better younger
Your
players
core
more.
players, Sengun,
Yeah.
Thompson, you got to
But
take care of them.
if you're looking for a veteran, because that's the other thing. You're getting a veteran. You get a veteran. You get not only that, but you're getting somebody who knows how to score the basketball, who knows how to
Sure
get
do.
his team involved.
Mhm.
We're not asking you to lead the team. We're just asking you
Just
to stay in this
be,
box. Stay in
yeah.
this box right here. Help help with the team
If I
where
need a
they need help
bucket,
at. Yeah.
we'll give you the ball. We don't expect you to
Yep.
do a whole lot.
We're not asking for a lot. We're just asking you
Yep.
to do the shit that you've been doing. That
Yep.
is it. Now, like I said, the money wise, we'll figure that part out because
That's gonna be hard. That is not
the
going
way
to be easy.
the way contracts are structured. But
Yeah.
K, if KD wants 40 plus million, somebody's going to give it to him.
You know
Same way
what?
I
Forget
said
all
about
that.
same
I
way
don't know
I said
why.
about
You know,
LeBron.
I don't know why I'm even tripping. Yeah, I was signing Kevin Durant, but I don't think he is going to be in Houston. If this
'Cause
NBA expansion goes through,
he going back
what's
to
up, Seattle?
Seattle.
What
That's
up,
what I was
Seattle?
I was
thinking
going to say,
too.
yeah.
That's
Now
what
I
I was
would
thinking
What up,
now
Seattle?
too.
for him to. I would love to have the whole storybook ending. Yes, him going back to
That's what I was
Seattle would
thinking
be
too, Garrett.
great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
So,
why I'm even tripping.
but that was just on the strength of if you're Houston. Yes,
Yeah, Houston.
Because they're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah, yeah.
win championship
if
still.
you're Houston,
Just a
absolutely.
little
Yes.
twist. Just a little twist.
But yeah,
Let's make it fun.
but I think that comes into play if he's asking for some astronomical number and a
Mhm.
team's not willing to necessarily pay that number. So
Mhm.
again, that's something we'll see once it gets down the line. Just to give a little bit of context as far as where he's sitting at and where he needs to go. Ahead of him, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Kareem, and LeBron. If he plays a few more years, he's catching Kobe. Hell, if I look at the list, shit, he might catch. I need to see how many points
Mm.
Karl Malone has, but
You know,
he'll
I s-
definitely catch Kobe.
I
How many
saw on
points
the
is he? Is he behind Kobe?
Hold on.
because I saw on the list that LeBron has the most 30-point games ever. By like a fucking country mile too. Like it's really crazy to see the
Uh,
foot. I mean the footprint he's left on this league. Especially even with assists, LeBron's like fourth all time in assist.
well, again,
Like for real.
a lot of this is longevity play, but also the way LeBron plays. So
And for high level too. Of
yeah.
course, man.
Garrett, to answer your question, Kobe has 33,643. Karl Malone has 36,928.
Mm.
So he might not catch Karl, but he'll definitely catch Kobe.
Mm.
Yeah, he might
That's
catch
a lot of
Kobe within
points.
a year and a half.
That's a lot of points, man. You gotta understand
yeah.
how much.
Well,
I mean,
like I say,
I mean,
it's not a shock. I mean,
that's crazy.
no,
man.
it's definitely not a shock because
It's
again,
not.
this is at this point, a lot of this shit is once you get into this hierarchy when it comes to the scoring list, this becomes a longevity game. Not only a longevity game, but a production game. So if your
Mhm.
production is matching or exceeding the longevity portion of it, yeah, you're going to essentially pass up these icons that have set the bar for us over the years. Like
Mhm.
look, the only records that are sealed that I don't see getting broken is John Stockton's assist
John
record.
Stockton's, and that's his steal record too. For
I hate
real.
how much Nasty Man Malone was a bucket. Right.
Yeah.
Another hey, topic for another day when it comes to that dude.
I think that stuff might come to a head one day. I think
What's
the
that?
NBA is aware of it, yeah. But I think once like new ownership is in play and stuff like that, there are gonna be some dudes who aren't cool with that, regardless of what he did on the floor.
I'm sure there are talks behind closed doors, but
for sure, like taking the jersey down and all that. I would, for sure, best believe it.
But
didn't win a championship or anything.
As we head into our final topic for the evening, so we discussed Cade Cunningham last week and the unforeseen issue that he had dealing with a punctured lung.
It was a collapsed lung.
Excuse me, collapsed lung. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have an issue, or you have concerns when it comes to this 65 game rule, because now Cade Cunningham is possibly going to miss out on any of the NBA accolades that you would need when it comes to this 65 game rule. So before we dive into this a little bit, just going to give clarity of what it is when it comes to the 65 game rule. Of course, you have to, as an NBA player, to be able to win MVP, All NBA, or any of the NBA accolades, like the defensive player award, stuff like that. You have to play 65. You have to qualify and play 65 games. In those 65 games, you must log at least 20 minutes. Now, there are some loopholes. So if you have back-to-back games, you have to play both games, but you can log anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. There is an injury exception. From my understanding, there is an injury exception where it's 62 games plus 85% of the season. I don't know what that portion is, because I feel like we're at that point where now the rule, now the NBA PA has an issue, and it's like, hey, we need to either do away with this rule, or we need to go back and amend this rule.
Yep.
Adam Silver quotes, "I'm not ready to say it's not working. It is working. I'm not ready to say because there is a sense of unfairness for one player that the rule doesn't work for." And that's pertaining to the rule, but again, this also comes after Cade Cunningham's unfortunate injury. And then you also had Jaylen Brown, who is a part of the WNBA. Excuse me, why am I saying W? Jesus Christ, the NBPA. And here's what he had to say. He was on, I think he was on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken.
So for those who don't know, in the NBA, in order for you to meet regular season awards, the criteria, you have to play in at least 65 out of the 82 games, which is like, I think like 80%, if I'm not mistaken.
Just
somebody do the math. How much percent is that? I'm not sure.
Like 79.2 or some shit like that.
And it's funny because people, once again, they moved the bar, because at first, when this was around, when it first became a 65 game rule, everybody was in support of it. Like, yeah, like, because at the time people was talking about guys who were, what do you call it? What do they call it? Load managing. And there was a lot of complaints around load managing. There was a lot of cranks around, guys not playing, superstars not playing. And now they moved the criteria to 65, and now it's like, it seems like the popular opinion is that now it's time to get rid of the 65. I was never a fan of the 65 game, for the record. I always thought it should be like 62. Like 65 seemed a bit, just a tad bit high. 62 was like, I thought 62 was solid. But I'm really not mad at 65. Like, I just thought the contrary was that in the past, guys would be playing 40 or 50 games and then be up for all NBA teams. And they play half the season because their numbers would be better because they only play half the games versus somebody who played 70, 68, 72 games. So that's a big difference. So because of that is why I feel like it was needed. Because you can't have dudes playing 45, 50 games and winning first team All NBA. Like, you basically came to work half the time and then got rewarded for it.
Right.
And completely understand. I didn't know that he pushed for 62. 62 wouldn't be bad. Although I feel like 65 isn't bad either. I'm with him on that. I feel like 65 isn't bad. But when it comes to this 65 game rule, we'll start with this. How do you feel about the rule? And yeah, how do you feel about the rule? I want to break this down into pieces because I don't want us to get too overwhelmed with it. So, Antoine,
Sure.
how do you feel about the 65 game rule?
Man, I think it's good for the league. I kind of piggyback off what Jalen was saying right there with some players, playing 45, 50 games and making all NBA first team. He really hit the nail on the head when he said, that's like you showing up to work half the time and you're reaping the benefits of someone who pulled up all 5 days this week, or, like the duration of the season, the majority. So I think that really sums it up right there. It's unfortunate for the players, like, especially for a situation like this, because Kate Cunningham, it's a collapsed lung. You can't do nothing about that. And he was having a great season. I actually want to go ahead and mention Jeff Schwartz. He had a quote that was on First Take today from Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, I reacted to it. Jeff Schwartz, Kate's agent, had said Kate has delivered a first-team All-NBA season. If he falls just short of an arbitrary games played threshold due to a legitimate injury, it should not disqualify him from the recognition he has clearly earned over the course of the season. The league should be rewarding excellence, not enforcing rigid cutoffs that ignore context. An exception needs to be made. That last part right there.
Put a pin in that. Let's put a pin in that. Garrett, how you feel about the 65 game rule?
To me, I think it's pretty fair, to be honest, because I think what Jalen was talking about in the video and I think you said it too, Wiley, about MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man, Most Improved. These awards are pretty significant for the NBA because they speak a lot of volume for whoever wins that award. And so even as for whether it's, fans, coaches, or whoever, the media, in order for you to win any of those awards, you have to play a certain amount of games to get a fair analysis of whether or not if this player or that player should win the award. Because people consider and say that, well, 65 game rule is too many games. So that means you're only allowed to lose. I mean, not lose, but, you're only allowed to be out for 17 games. Because it's 65 and you have the other 17. So, and yes, injuries are a part of the game and stuff. But at the same time, if you're trying to get a fair analysis across the board on who should win this award or that award, you have to have some sort of balance. So it's like for Cade Cunningham, yes, we know what he's done for the Pistons this season. He's led them to being the number one overall seed in the East. And when the Pistons are fully healthy, you're looking at a championship contending team coming out of the East. But under the same breath, though, has he done enough this season to say, hey, he should win MVP for that award. Some people may say yes, some people may say no. So I think for Jalen's point, yeah, it does matter that you have to play a significant amount of games to be worthy enough to be, hey, I'm worthy enough or eligible enough to win this award, no matter what award it is. Now they could trim it down a little bit further down, but I wouldn't give it like a significant amount. So Jalen said 62. Maybe you can cut it down to maybe I don't know, say 55.
Hell
So
no.
somewhere in that range.
Nah, you
Hell
gotta play at
no.
least 60.
So
In my opinion, at least 60.
so
Well, I mean,
I
I
I
said
want to
somewhere in that range. So, but I mean,
Mhm.
regardless of what the
That's
number is, but the fact of the matter is just that, like I said, you have to have a fair analysis to judge, what player should win which award. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so it is what it is. So, but I think it's just more so the fact that with Cade and his situation, he's done such a magnificent job. But no, you have to go out and you do have to play a certain amount of games to win that award. So yeah, you definitely have to meet the criteria. So
for sure.
you just have to find some sort of balance to where it's fair. So yeah, so if it's 65, then maybe you could cut down around 60. And stop right there. So
I pulled the name, and the name came to me because I wanted to see how many games he had played when he won MVP, and that's Joel Embiid. Take a wild guess of how many games the year he won MVP. Take a wild guess of how many games that he played.
So it's 2023. 50 fuck. Like I'll say 60. I'll say 60 games Joel played.
How many you get? How many you guess?
I'll say around. Well, he was pretty healthy during that season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about the record that they had.
He averaged
Uh,
33 a game.
yeah, I go around. Yeah, I go around 60, 60, 61. I say 61.
He
That's a different
played.
number.
He played 66 games when he won MVP.
Okay.
Now, if we back it up 2 years, so 2020, 2021 season, he was second in MVP, seventh in Defensive Player of the Year, All Star, second All NBA, and second team All Defensive NBA.
Mm-hmm.
How many games? How many games you think he played?
In
At least
2021?
Yeah, 20.
at
This
least
is
around 40 something.
20.
Nah,
This
He
is
didn't play that. He didn't play that
2021.
many. He didn't play
You
that
said how
many
many,
games.
Garrett?
I'll get
21.
around. I would say 45.
How many? How many you think he played?
I think it was still around 60 because the injuries didn't really like his knee and all that wasn't until like last year. So I think it was around 60 still.
You gave that man a lot of credit. He played 51 games,
Fuck.
and that's the shit that
Yeah, he didn't
Jalen
play like
Brown
no.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what Jalen Brown's talking about. Like, how do you play 50, 51? You know, you play in the 50s, and you're getting these awards when you have players who have played more than you have, played more games that you have, and they're either not getting the recognition or they're barely getting recognition. And I'm just looking at what year he won MVP.
2020.
that was
2022,
in 20.
2023.
Yeah,
So Joker was second. Joker played 69 games.
I thought he should have won it that year. I mean, so did a lot of
Hell,
other people.
we all thought he should
A
have
I
won
mean
lot
it
of
because
everybody
he
knows
kept
that.
everyone.
look,
But that's a
Joel,
different conversation.
I've been saying because Joel, your ass is ducking Embiid all that season. That's from me. But just looking at Joker, like Joker,
Sure.
the least amount of games Joker has played is 69 games.
Healthy.
This season he's currently played 58. So
Yeah, but he's had his injuries, major
well, yeah,
injury
but
in
I'm
recent
and
time.
I
But
mean how many games left they got?
Like
Denver.
it's like
Most
it's
9
teams
maybe
have at least
around
around 9 to 10 games left.
yeah,
So he can
yeah, yeah,
still meet
nine to
he
10.
can still meet that 65 game criteria.
criteria.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is that's something I do understand when it comes to Jaylen Brown. It's like, dog, how the fuck you come to work half the time and then you still get considered for these awards?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
And
I think it's just because of the fact that these players have impacted the game to a level that everybody knows that this player can impact the game when he's healthy. This and the third. Not saying that it should be excused because again, you still have to meet the criteria. So even
yeah,
though
but
that people can say, "Well, Joel Embiid, we know when he's healthy, he's a great player. He can do this, he can do that." Sure, but at the same time, you still have to meet the criteria in order for you to be eligible for any award that you may be,
but
considered
a
for.
lot of this
So
shit.
people do just ignore that type of thing.
But to put this into context, this rule was, like you said, this rule was put into to somewhat combat tanking.
Yeah.
Well, tanking and between tanking and loads, man. Tanking is another thing. We had that conversation
Yeah,
last week.
tanking, that's more like
But
the draft.
And that's
but
changing next summer.
this was to combat load management because you had motherfuckers out here. So let's just say we're not in the space when it comes to you guys being journalists, me being a photographer. We're not in that space. We're just straight up fans. We go to buy tickets, and we go to buy tickets, and let's just say it's OKC Spurs. We buy tickets to go see that game. We get word fucking SGA is out, Wimby's out, fucking Chet's out. Like all these stars are out, but yet we get screwed over because they're either resting or they have some injury, and I will definitely throw that shit up in air quotes because there's an injury when it comes to SGA that I kind of side eye a little bit as somebody who deals with back issues, but that's neither here nor there. That's another conversation. But me as a fan, I'm pissed because I just spent my hard earned money to go see, not only to go see this game, but I have to travel to this game. I gotta stay. I gotta get a hotel, all the shit. So me as a fan, I'm pissed. So the 65 game rule, yeah, I'm for it. Could it be knocked down? I would only knock it down. I like the 62 game that Jaylen Brown was talking about. So give me 62, 63 games if we're gonna amend the rule or change the rule
Well,
to not gain
I
it down.
I do want to say this here. Well, it's more of a question. So, okay, to your point about OKC and San Antonio, you buy your tickets, you get your hotel, you go to the game, and then you find out, Chet, Wemby, SGA, they're out, or at least one of them. So, I think fans would be more upset if they found out that either guy was out due to load management versus an actual injury.
But no, that was the whole situation. They're not out because they're injured, like they have a legit injury. They're out because they were put on the injury list late.
Rather play it safe, like, hey, he's
Yeah.
got a little illness or something.
Like I'm so to give it a little bit more context. Let's say we bought these tickets a month in advance.
Yeah.
And they've been fine. They've been fine throughout the season. No injuries, no nothing. And then we find out the week of, boom, they're out. Like, bitch, what? What you mean
But
they
I
out?
mean, that's the whole thing. It's just like, okay, I mean, it's the NBA, anything can happen. So it's like, okay, say if SGA is out because he sprained his ankle the game before.
Well, I'm just
Or
saying again, this is not this. I'm saying when I say that they're out, this is there's no injury.
Injuries, load
They're
management.
this is
Mhm.
nothing to do with injuries. This is straight up. Everything's been cool. No injuries happen,
Just
but
taking the game off.
they pop up. They pop
yeah,
up on
like
the injury
So
list.
in that case, yeah, of course people are going to be upset.
So
Because of
yeah,
the fact
that's
that
what I'm saying.
these
But
fans are paying their hard earned money to come see these players, and it's not a good look for the NBA.
right,
You're not really
because and that's
generating the
what was
revenue that you want to generate. That you're getting. So
and that's what was happening. So I get why the rule was created, but also I guess I just look at it. I'm like, dog, y'all get paid so much money. Y'all get paid so much money to do this shit. Then on top of that,
mhm.
people will say they have the best medicine and all this other shit. Well, why the fuck are they getting injured so much?
Well, it's not even that though. But other than that though, and I just thought about this, is the fact of the matter is that these teams, they're in a way interfering these players' next contract extensions that they have coming up. Because say like, okay, because players, they get bonuses all the time. So say
Mhm.
SGA says that, well, if he makes, say if he wins MVP, or if he makes if he makes all NBA for next season, I'm just throwing an example. Okay, well, if you make all NBA next season, then we'll throw in another 20 million at you on your next contract. Well, you're keeping this guy keeping this guy out the game consecutive times, load management, because you don't want to play him for whatever reason. So now at that point, you're not even giving him like any leeway or any chance to actually put himself in a position to not only be successful, help you win games, but you're kind of like interfering with these players' money. It's like, okay, we'll give you this if you're, make these, if you play this certain amount of games. But if you're keeping these players out, do load management, then you're not really like honoring your word in a sense,
No,
because you're
and
not really following protocol. So,
a lot of this
it's
and
kind
a
of
lot of
like,
this does fall on the organization because
mhm.
you have had players come out and be like, yo, it wasn't the fact that I didn't want to play, it's the fact that they told me I wasn't playing. And
So it's kind of like a situation. It's kind of like with the situation with Giannis in Milwaukee now,
right, because
where
we know
you
Giannis want to
want to
play.
shut down Giannis for a multitude of reasons. I think it's
Pretty much
because
so.
they want to make sure he's healthy, because it
Yeah.
looks like those guys, between both parties, they're not gonna, come to another agreement to a contract extension. But that's another conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
increase their draft lottery odds and all that kind of stuff. But you heard Giannis say like, no, I want to come back and play, even though they're out of playoff contention pretty much. But that's not another thing. So it's
I
like
mean,
there's no need
you
of
have
keeping the
players.
guy out if he's healthy.
Yeah, you
Let the
have
man play.
players that just want to hoop.
And the
Giannis
play
is
in the league is not going for that.
yeah.
So
And again, I get all this shit is a business, but also um looking at this from a fan's perspective, like
Mhm.
yo, I get y'all
that would
ass out
make you
there and
mad.
play. Yeah,
That would
get
make you
y'all ass out
mad.
there and play, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
Like that's the one
I agree.
thing, and I don't want to compare the shit to what I watch because that was something completely different. And a lot of things were different. The gameplay was different. The medicine was different. All that shit was different. But I think the one thing was the mentality was different because
Yeah.
those players was like, yo, these people come to see us play. My job is to put on a show. This is in the grand scheme of things, the NBA sports is an entertainment business. NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, all this shit it's entertainment in the grand scheme of things. Y'all get paid to entertain people like us because we are fans of the sport. Get your ass out there, and this is me from speaking from a fan's perspective. Get your ass out there and go hoop, go do your job. Go do the shit that you getting paid for. Please and thank you.
I agree.
Like that, as a fan, that's all we want to see. We just want to see we want to see the matchups. We want to see our favorite players get out there and go bust somebody's ass. The thing is that it's just the organizations are making it hard because it's turned in. It's so much of a fucking business, and it's turned into a $1 billion business that now
I'd be mad if I paid $1,000 courtside, to see Luka, Steph, or whoever, and y'all say, "Oh, he ain't playing tonight."
Right.
Okay.
I'll be ready to tear that damn arena up. What? I mean, I'm still gonna go because I done paid my money.
Quite literally.
Look, I'm a go because I paid my money, but I ain't gonna be happy.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I guess.
So I'm just gonna be like, you know what? At least Draymond's playing, so I guess I'll just watch that for a time being.
The last thing I could really harp on it about, I guess, if we're considering still modifying the rule, is because it's kind of like what I was talking about with what Cade, his agent, had chimed in. Do you think certain injuries should disqualify you from being out of contention? Like if it's something that drastic, like how Victor had the blood clots, a couple seasons ago.
Stuff like that should not hinder you.
Because I mean that's kind of like
that's like a medical.
It's kind of like they're reducing their. I mean that's kind of like reducing the amount of games that they're meeting. So like, okay, if it's 65 game rule, and then this guy gets injured because of a blood clot or collapsed lung, then that's not going to be fair to other guys that have to meet that criteria. So it's like it has to be equal for everybody.
If it's like a certain injury, not like a regular ACL tear, like an MC. Nah, I'm talking like a collapsed lung. That's not something you see every day on a basketball court.
You got to meet the criteria. If this criteria is just for everybody. Now that's how I look at it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
now
that counts for all players. So I mean, you got the whole thing where this player gets injured. You have the the trade, not trade, the disabled grant, something like that. I forgot what it's called, but you already have that, as a token from the league. So that's just how I look at it, in that aspect. So
for me, so I think if let's say the why do I keep doing that? The NBA, probably because
you did say you want to cover the WNBA, Wiley. So
listen, man,
it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Look, man, I'm in the trenches on both ends. So and with the WNBA getting their CBA done, like I'm in the trenches on both sides. So I keep fucking this up. Oh well. But the NBPA, they pretty much are looking at it. Hey, at the very least, let's put in this and amend the rule to where if a player has a legitimate injury, we take that into consideration. Now
you have to.
Now, what that would mean for the NBA, y'all have to do y'all due diligence and y'all need to do y'all's due diligence and do some true investigating when it comes to these players that end up missing games during the season. Are they really injured, or are they doing the shit just to have some time off, just to get some rest? That's something that Adam Silver has to figure out. And I don't give a damn if you have to put a task force together, but
I just feel like that's a lot of work just to.
Hey, you get y'all. Hey, I don't. Hey, I Garrett.
Everybody got to knock on people's doors and say, "Hey, Garrett, I just want to talk to you for a second." So
Garrett, I hear you.
This guy,
Garrett, I hear you. But this is $1 billion company. You can. I will say you can put a team together to do that.
Of course, but.
The UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship, they have a thing called Drug Free Sport International. It used to be called USADA, like the United States Anti-Doping Agency. They would knock on their doors at like 3:00 in the morning just to give them a test and see if they're taking performance enhancing drugs. They were
The
completely
UFC?
unannounced. Like,
I'm just saying, that's a little.
The
I'm
UFC.
saying, but not.
That's a
I
little
am
apples
saying
and oranges.
something that's been here 30 years compared to the NBA.
The
That's been here since,
UFC.
1940. But I'm
Nobody's
saying,
throwing punches or kicking.
but now I'm
It's
Come
saying
on
the
now.
NBA has been around longer, way
The UFC.
years longer.
They're not even under the same umbrella.
But I'm saying if the UFC has that money to put those dudes out there drug testing and doing all these tests, the NBA 1000%. Every NBA team is $1 billion company. So I 1000% think
That's what I was like.
It's the UFC.
But no, I'm saying
You talking about guys that can get like a concussion in 2 seconds.
They're fighting, but I mean, we've seen dudes take PEDs
I know
basketball and stuff like that before, so it's not like PEDs.
Nobody don't even like be fighting in the NBA.
I get what
the fighting is not the point. I'm saying if the UFC, something that's been here since 1993, can do that. The NBA has been here since 1947. They 100%. If they want to do that, they can. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's why I'm like, you can put a team together, but also like you have to, again, y'all know me. If I catch you lying to me, if I'm Adam Silver, if I catch you lying to me about these players and their injuries, I'm gonna hit you upside the head, and it's not gonna be 100,000. It's not gonna be 500,000. It's gonna be a couple million. I'm gonna make an example out of you. Not only that, you losing draft picks. Like all you have to do is make an example out of one team. The
I can live with that.
The rest will fly right. That's all I'm saying.
I can live with that. I mean,
for sure. What's that?
A lot of and that's why I'm like I didn't want to make this seem like the rule, like the players were necessarily the issue. I feel like sometimes they can be. We've seen this happen. Kyrie, I'm talking to you. But a lot of this shit is 99% of this shit is on the organization and how they're running their organization.
How they want to go about it. That's what I was saying. Yeah, if they want to do that, they 100% can do that shit if they want to.
The thing is, Adam Silver has to start putting this motherfucking foot down when it comes to this shit and start making examples out of these organizations. Again, if you set the tone. And this is just me. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but if you set the tone on a team and another team sees that, like, oh shit, they just got lit up. They got fined and they lost a draft pick. Oh yeah, all right. Let me stop bullshitting and make sure that if my players are injured, hey, this guy is injured. This is the injury. Yada yada yada. Boom. There you go. So. I think that's the thing that needs to get resolved. Adam Silver got enough shit he got to worry about, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that he needs to fix kind of weave within each other, like between this and the tanking issue that you have. You can fix all of that with a little bit of fine tuning and some so-called government muscle if you choose to, but that's up to you. Y'all got anything else on this rule, man?
Man, no, like that's it. Like I said, I just think certain injuries should be outside of that box. Like if it's like the blood clots like Victor had, if it's like a collapsed lung like Cade Cunningham has, these are the first time I've ever heard of a player dealing with these kind of injuries on a basketball court. Like I mean, man, because we saw Nikola Topic. Nikola Topic caught fucking cancer, man. To take he had to go do chemotherapy, man. I know Oklahoma, so I think Nikola Topic, the sophomore for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Where we're seeing
he's not up for no. He's not.
But now I'm saying, like, as the NBA advances, we're seeing different types of injuries that hinder players from making it to the floor. 100%, we're seeing that now. So.
I mean,
Like how I'm
we
saying,
kind of saw the blood clot thing with Chris Bosh.
and even
Reason why
and,
he
and
Yeah.
that
was
ended his career. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, with certain injuries, you literally cannot play around with. And I just think those should be out of the box. Those are
I
like
just
two
don't
reasons.
think that can make you still eligible. Because say if like say if Cade
I
plays 19 games and then
I was
tears
gonna
his
say, yeah,
ACL.
it depends on when it happens. That
And even that,
again,
yeah, we can agree within that too.
that's something because when it comes to Wemby, his shit happened earlier in the season,
In the
but now
season.
he's back and he's able to play. So, but
Right.
again, when it comes at the end of the year, let's say he misses by 3 or 4 games.
Mhm.
Now that's something you
Then
go
that
and sit.
changes.
Yeah, now you go and sit and take that into consideration and then figure out, okay, do we count this against Wemby, or do we let this slide, so to speak?
Like, yeah, like it can
Right.
be like a player
It's
by
just
player basis.
yeah, it's going to
Like,
be the shit's going to be player by player basis. It's just again,
Well, I mean, my whole thing is like, okay, like again, like injuries that you would say, okay, you making and I mean, okay, yeah. I guess it just like White said, it just depends on when it happened. So it's just like, okay, if this blood clot took place like towards the end of the season, then yeah, that's one thing.
that I
But if
agree
any
with.
of these
That's
injuries
fine.
happen like early or mid season,
I mean, yeah, like yo, if
get
you play
off.
like
yeah,
That's
20
just
games,
no.
if you play
We're
like
yeah.
not.
15 games and something tragic happened, I
But
mean,
hence the
yeah,
reason why. I mentioned. Joel Embiid. Like, dude, how are you getting these accolades and you barely,
You
you
barely
barely
show the
play,
work.
you barely play half the season. Like,
Some people think this man retired or something or just disappeared.
no, and like I said, I just knew like he's been one of those injury riddled players
Mhm.
that we
One of the
know
worst.
that are typically in the discussion when it comes to MVP
MVP.
and all these
Oh
other
yeah.
accolades. So not necessarily a shot at him, but if it was a shot, so be it. Y'all know I don't care. Um, anything else before we close this bad boy out?
That's it, man. Like it's an interesting rule. I mean, yeah, like I guess just to end on it, like, yeah, it's I feel with what y'all said, it depends on when it happens. Like if you played 60 games and you get like something that's devastating like that, I definitely think you should still be in the consideration. But if it's like super early in the season, and if it's like a, you know, like I said, like that, okay, because that's ridiculous at that point. You can't give a person who only played 15 games a certain reward like that. I agree with that at that point. But if you played like 60 games at least, and like you catch pneumonia or something like that, it's something that you in both lungs, like something that devastating, like yeah, then it's like we give that player some leeway. You feel me? But if it's too early, it shouldn't apply. That I agree with 100%.
Garrett, anything else?
No, sir. It'll be interesting to see what takes place
Mm-hmm.
between now and when these awards are announced. Um, so we'll see how it goes from there. And I know the NBA, they're going to make changes not just to the 65 game rule, but to Antoine's point, I think the biggest change is the NBA draft of how they're going to prevent from tanking and this type of
Mhm.
stuff. So, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens and go from there. So,
Yes, sir.
right around the corner.
That's it.
Well, as the season gets ready to close and as this episode gets ready to close, also quick update. Purdue, they edged it out. They edged
Yep.
it out 79-77. Last second shot. Kept my bracket alive. Woo. But
March
as we close,
Madness.
man, as we close this out, thank you for pulling up with us, rocking with us, watching via YouTube, Twitter, wherever, even the audio. We appreciate you guys as always. For the ones that are viewing on YouTube and on Twitter, please hit the QR code that gets you to all of our socials. It gets you to the YouTube page. If you get to the YouTube page, please like, share, comment, like help us get us in the algorithm. Help subscribe to the show. Help us get our subscribers up, please and thank you. I don't have anything else after that. Now I get to enjoy this weekend. Yes, finally. I get to enjoy this weekend, have a good time, relax. But until then, we will get at y'all next week.
One band, one sound. Then give me my theme music.